Manchester City have made their final signing of the transfer window, a surprise one. Manuel Akanji from Dortmund is signed, and it's absolutely unexpected. I'm not going to lie, I'll be honest with you, I'm recording this after last night's game at like 1:45 in the morning because I had a feeling it was going to go as soon as I was on a train to London. I'm off to London today, so I wanted to get this video done and get it ready for when Manchester City announced this transfer. And today, of course, I'm going to talk about loads of stuff about this transfer. I'm going to give you a bit of an overview who Akanji is, how he plays, where he's going to fit into the squad, all that kind of stuff. So fingers crossed this game will be this video will be very, very useful for you all. Apologies, I am very tired because it's 1 AM when I'm doing this, but I've got to be done. It's got to be done, so I'm going to do it. So first of all, we've signed Akanji. We've obviously done this because the background of this transfer is that because Manchester City are clearly feeling a little bit light defensively. Now, we've only got obviously two senior fullbacks and then one backup fullback in Gomez, and of course as well we had 4 centre-backs, Laporte, Ake, Stones, Diaz, but we know that Laporte is going to be out until probably at least the start of October, and Ake and Stones, they're particularly injury prone every now and then. And I think Guardiola's been looking at the squad going, we are a little bit light there. We've had no senior centre-backs on the bench, and Kyle Walker's had to do a job there, which isn't ideal, and it definitely isn't optimal at all. And given the fact that someone is always likely going to be injured, and the squad is very light, I think it's a very good idea to sign Akanji. Now, the background of this actual transfer happening in general, Dortmund wanted him to stay, but, you know, he didn't sign a new contract, and unfortunately for them, they resigned themselves to him going next year, so they wanted to sell him this summer. And it looks like he was all set to possibly move to Leicester or something like that, apparently, and a few other clubs were interested in him until City went, hello, Manuel, you know, come to City instead, and he went, all right then, basically. The rumours were that Erling Haaland had nothing but praise about him as a, you know, as a footballer, as a player, and so on. And City thought this is a good deal here. We've got a 27-year-old here with Champions League experience, loads of Bundesliga experience, of course, one of the top leagues in European football, Swiss international. You know, he's done really well, leadership traits and all this kind of stuff. And he's probably fine being a backup in general. It makes an awful lot of sense. You know, it makes an awful lot of sense to get him in for around 15 to 17 million, which we'll get into in a minute in terms of the fee. It makes a little sense for everyone, basically. So you can see why City have signed this player. In terms of his actual background, well, he spent the last 4 years at Borussia Dortmund, where he's been, I think he's 5 seasons he's completed, I think, at Dortmund, where he was basically one of their first choice centre-backs with a myriad of partners, often alongside the abysmal Emre Can, which never really helped his defensive capabilities. But he played a long time at Dortmund, and of course played an awful lot of Champions League football as a result of that. Before that, he was something of a wonder kid, a highly, you know, a high prospect, a highly valued prospect. He came from Basel over in the Swiss Super League, and that was, you know, his form there kind of got him the attention of Dortmund, where he joined and then spent a few years there, a few decent years for him, and it was good for him, you know, his career and so on. Now, his time there was relatively mixed, moments of brilliance with the odd moment of switching off and all that kind of stuff, which we'll get onto fully later. But overall, I think Dortmund were planning to keep him and use him this season if he'd signed a contract, which he didn't, which led to a relatively cheaper fee. Now, the fee, of course, was only between 15 to 17 million or something like that. It might even be 17 million euros, which is even cheaper. I don't know, but it's less than 20 million quid, which in Manchester City these days, you know, look, it's nothing that we can't afford. It isn't. It's nice and simple. It's a very easy fee for us, especially given the fact that, you know, our squad is looking a little bit thin. As I said, we've not really had a senior centre back or on the bench for ages now, which feels really weird given we're only a few games into the season. So this makes an awful lot of sense to get in a cheap player here. And once again, we'll probably get the money back if we decided to sell him. Like, Akanji would go for 15, 20 million anyway, at very least, if we needed to sell him because he didn't play very often. So he's got that pedigree. You know, he's at a decent age at 27 years old, so the fee makes an awful lot of sense. In terms of his position, this bit here is to ask the question, can he play anywhere else? Look, no, he's a centre-back. He's a centre-back by trade, and that's where he plays. Right-sided centre-back is his position there. He is right-footed, and that's where he's played basically all his career. There has been a few games according to Transfer Market when he's been out on the right, but I'm almost certain that's very much in the backup territory, in the way that John Stones has been out on the right, but doesn't make him a right-back by any stretch of the imagination. But his position for Manchester City will be almost certainly as a centre-back. You know, given the fact that Manchester City are playing every now and then with three at the back these days, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we do, you know, see Akanji potentially as an option there. You know, we've seen that an awful lot. It could be something that we see of Akanji potentially as an option. In terms of his actual style of play, now, I did a video with a Football Manager head co-researcher and an actual scout called Everything You Need to Know About Manuel Akanji. That'll be linked on screen right now. But that was really interesting chatting to Oliver, because Oliver basically told me a lot about his style of play, and I've gone and watched some videos as well in general. He's essentially a very Manchester City player, and I'll get onto the stats in a minute that prove that, but overall, he's what you'd expect from a Manchester City signing. He's got a really good range of passing. He's a decent height as well. Looks about 6'2" or something like that, so he's a good height in general. Relatively lean. He's a modern kind of centre-back. He's not like big and bulky or anything like that. He's, you know, lean and he's elegant and athletic. He seems to have a really good turn of pace, which is one thing that really I'm happy about personally. I want a fast centre back. He seems to be faster than average, actually. I would say that he's faster than any of our current centre backs, which is good. Which does make me think, by the way, I wonder if he could do that Kyle Walker role eventually. You know what I mean? Maybe he could do it. I don't know. But yeah, he's very, very fast, which is great for his recovery. Takes a couple of steps to get going, but once he gets his top speed, he's very, very fast, and he's once again very good on the ball. He's very comfortable stepping into midfield as well. After Upamecano in the Bundesliga, he had the second most progressive runs into midfield from centre back, so he's very good at bringing the ball using his physicality and his pace and his confidence into midfield, and he's very comfortable passing it, be it diagonals across and so on, or kind of breaking the lines into midfield and feeding it to the fullbacks or to the number 6 or whatever. So he's very comfortable on the ball, which is a very Manchester City thing. Stylistically, look, he has been known to switch off every now and then. That is one of the negatives of Akanji. Like, what I would say is that, you know, if you're getting a 17 million centre back who's fifth choice, you would expect the odd negative here and there. However, I would say, if you think about back to Otamendi, one of the traits that Otamendi had apparently was that he switched off every now and then. And not apparently, he just did. We all know that. But guess what happened to Otamendi under Guardiola under the 17-18 season in particular? He made the Premier League team of the season because Guardiola, he calmed him down. He took those rash moments out of his game and made him an all-round better defender and gave him his best season of his career, arguably. And if Guardiola can do that, you know, to him, then maybe see what he can do to Akanji. Akanji is literally incredibly intelligent as well, which is one thing that draws me to this signing. And no, I'm not even mean intelligent in the football sense. I mean, literally, the guy is a Mensa-level genius. There's got loads of viral clips going around that show off his math skills. He's literally faster than a calculator. Like, he can do high-level maths, like stupid equations and all this kind of stuff. So he seems something of a very intelligent footballer, which once again fits Manchester City's motif of signing really intelligent players. And I like this, basically. I like the fact that he's an intelligent footballer and he is something of a leader. Apparently, he's very calm. A soft talker, you know, a leader by composure and so on, and through his intelligence. He seems like a really good guy. Once again, Haaland's giving him the thumbs up. So I like that about his game. So you've got a guy fast, strong, good height, good pace. I've said that already. Good passer and very intelligent, but he can be known to switch off and ball watch and all this kind of time every now and then, and he can make mistakes as well. So we have to obviously see how his game adapts. Now, in terms of his actual stats in general, people talk a lot about his injury record. You know, I'll just... Yeah, injury history isn't perfect. He does have, you know, the odd injury here and there, unfortunately. But he starts his actual games. Look, he still played 36 games last season, 41 the season before, 39 the season before that, 31 before that. He still plays over 30 games a season, often around 40. He plays an awful lot, but he does undeniably get games, but it seems to be for 3 games here, 2 games here, the odd 5-1. He seems to have a lot of like little knee problems here and there, but at the same time, Dortmund are just known for injuries. I'm wondering how much it is down to Dortmund. He didn't really seem to have a bad, you know, injury history previously at Basel, so I wonder if it's a Dortmund thing. It could be. I don't really know. But either way, like he does tend to have that, you know, a bit of an injury kind of problem out for a couple of weeks here and there, which maybe is manageable. But statistically, he still does play an awful lot of games. Now, as him in terms of actually compared to other defenders. I put a little graphic on screen now, which is using the Squawka comparison matrix, and he comes across really good, actually. I mean, obviously, as you see there, he played about the same. He played roughly the same amount of games as Ruben Dias last season. This is per 90, by the way, so it's not total. But when you look at his per 90 stats, in terms of ball recoveries, he's actually the best there out of Van Dijk, Dias, and Rudiger. I chose those three because they were three of the leading centre-backs last season in the league. Ball recoveries are excellent, literally, he's really good at that. In terms of possession lost, Rudiger lost the ball the most. Dias actually the best there, but he was right up there alongside Van Dijk, so good in general. He doesn't lose the ball very often. Goals, will ignore that one, because it's just on there anyway. But passes attempted, Ruben Dias is the highest there, which is obviously a very Man City thing, but he's the second highest, which is good. So he's a ball-playing centre-back, and once again, his pass accuracy is the second there. Ruben with the highest at 93%, but he's at 90%, pushing 91%, better than Rudiger and Van Dijk. So he's already a 90% pass completion player, and he's not playing for Manchester City, where everything goes up. And once again, he's got the best long pass accuracy as well, 63%, which is really, really good. Now, unfortunately, he does drop off a little bit in his aerial duel success, but he's still decent, 58%, better than Ruben Dias apparently, but behind Rudiger and Van Dijk in that area. But once again, when you get the ball on the ground near him, his ground duels contested, he's the best here out of the three of them. He level with Rudiger actually, but much better than Van Dijk and Dias in that instance. And he has the best ground duel success rate as well, nearly 70% there, which is much more than Ruben Dias and much more than any of them actually. So, and then clearances a game, he's the lowest there, but still 2.2, decent. Interceptions a game, the highest there. Blocks, the highest there. Statistically, he's impressive. Now, obviously, there are probably some things to his game that need to improve, but I can't deny those stats in front of me, man. They are decent. Like, he obviously has, statistically speaking, everything that he needs to be the Manchester City side. Good pace, good intelligence, good stats, but obviously there's a consistency issue. That's the thing. There were rumours that Ruben Dias was very inconsistent in his final season before he joined Man City, and look what happened to him. He's become a world-class centre-back. Otamendi did it under Guardiola. Guardiola does have an ability to iron out inconsistencies in players, so fingers crossed he can do that with Akanji here. In terms of his squad status, once again, he's come in obviously as the backup here. I suspect, we'll see him. He play football. He will absolutely play football because he play an awful lot. But I suspect he's aware of his status that he's going to have to improve himself. But do not be surprised, with him there as an alternative. I wouldn't be surprised every now and then if we see him take over Walker's role. I know people might be thinking, what, really? He's a centre-back? But Walker often plays as a centre-back these days in the back three and plays inverted quite a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Akanji every now and then do that right-sided centre-back stroke full-back thing, or just be full-on a rotation player in the middle. Like, either way, he's coming as a squad player, and I think he understands that. Like, he'll want to play with Guardiola. He'll want to play with De Bruyne, Haaland again, all this kind of stuff, and I think that's absolutely fine. Overall, for me, this signing isn't one to go crazy about, but it's a sensible signing. It's a smart signing, and sometimes the smart signings are the ones that you need to make, and it gives us a little bit more depth and experience and leadership, once again, in the team. A good player and a good person, by all accounts. So, even though this may not be one that sets the world light, let's see what Guardiola can do with this guy, because this could be one of those times where we look back in a few years and go, I can't believe we got him for 15 million, man. He's been excellent as a squad player, and eventually he gets himself into the first team, he improves, and who knows how good he can be. Like, that's one thing I will say under Manchester City, but he doesn't have to be great because he's cost barely anything and he's a backup. So overall, this is a smart little signing. Once again, sorry that this is a bit low energy, this video, but it is 1 o'clock in the morning as I'm recording this after Manchester City's 6-0 win over Forest. It was wonderful stuff. There will be a 5 things later coming out later on today as well, which I'm recording straight after this video to schedule tomorrow because I'm in London all day. I'm on Sky Sports tomorrow, by the way, hence why I'm doing these videos late at night. So I'll see you there. Watch on Sky Sports. And go check out my match reaction, of course, after yesterday's battering of Forest. It was great fun. Let me know what you think of Akanji down in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button. Do my channel a massive favour and subscribe, and thank you, of course, to all the patrons currently scrolling down the side of the screen. The lifeblood of my channel, you and the members, absolute heroes. Anyway, Akanji is a blue. Akanji, whoa, he came to Man City because of Laporte's injury. That'll do. In a bit. Good night.